You're on.
Okay,
We're good to go?
thanks. So, and it says it's recording, so
Yeah.
Can, Chad, can you hear us? We can't hear you, though.
He's probably muted. He is muted.
Okay, it is 4 minutes past 6 p.m. Time to start the Town of Freetown Planning Board for Tuesday, August 6th, 2024. We do have our Zoom connection for the first time. We have 2 people on there. We are recording this meeting. Is anybody in the studio to audience recording the meeting? Nope, cool. Okay, we'll get to the agenda. Number 1, discussion and vote on special permit extension 125 South Main Street. And I believe the applicant, Deb Robbins, is on Zoom. So if we can get her up there and she can plead her case.
Hi, Dave. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I came before the board 3 years ago for
Can you guys hear?
special. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can the audience? Yeah, okay. There's a few people in the audience. That's okay. Yep.
Okay. For a special permit for 72 units of 55 plus housing at 125 South Main Street. We had a great turnout. Everybody that was there was for the project. We had no opposition. Everything was approved. However, it was not recorded. At the time, we had a secretary in the planning board that, well, I mean, he didn't always follow through, and it got lost in the shuffle, and I was never notified, and it sat in the town clerk's office. It's never been recorded. In the meantime, I started to get ready for the project. We started all the site work. I've got probably $490,000, I believe, tied into the project right now between site work, drainage, retention ponds, engineering, just a whole gamut of items. And I put the project on hold because COVID had just ended and prices of everything skyrocketed. And shortly after, it turned into the interest rate went crazy. And then I just decided that I wasn't interested in doing the project any longer. So it sat. I now have an interested party that's doing something 55 plus, which is huge. And one of the conditions is that the permit be valid. And that's when I discovered that it had lapsed. So I'm looking for an extension to exercise the permit, meaning the right to record it as it should have been, and the right to move forward for the 72 units of 55 plus.
What's the time? 3-year extension you're looking for?
Yes, yes.
So I'll open it up to the board in a second. I'll just reiterate. I talked to Kevin this afternoon, the chairman at the time, and I asked him because I knew I was a associate member on the board at the time, and I knew there was a lot of problems with the staffing or lack of staffing. And he said, yes, there was all sorts of issues. And the permit lapses unless there's what's that wording? You have it in your letter. Unless there's just cause. And so I was trying to find out, what kind of just cause would we accept from the board. And certainly with the COVID, with everything with COVID happening at that time, and with the staffing problems and issues, just cause, I would think would be something we could certainly look at. So I'll open up to the board to ask any questions for the 2 members here, or any comments or anything you want to say.
Yeah, I think she went through a lot of hoops for it with COVID.
It was
different things happening that dragged things out.
it was well received and it's certainly something we need in town.
Yeah,
Um,
doesn't have an impact on the school system, 55, no.
And I'm assuming if we denied, it would have to go. You'd take the same plans, you'd put a different date on it and then bring it in front of this board and we'd have to go through the process again, is my guess. Chad, any questions or comments?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you that COVID and, obviously a staffing error would be plenty enough just cause for us to go forward with this.
Anything else, Steve? Nothing?
No, I'd say you already went through all the hoops and everything.
So I'd entertain a motion for us to extend this permit for another 3 years.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Because one member is on remote, we have to do a roll call vote. So I will ask the members to vote. Chad Cavallo,
Aye, yes.
Chris Mello,
Aye.
Steve Tripp,
Aye.
David Cross, aye. The motion is passed unanimously for a 3-year extension.
Thank you very much.
And you will do the recording and
I absolutely will, Dave.
we'll sign
Yes.
this form after the meeting and we'll go forward from there.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
So we didn't have to call. Kevin said I could call him. He said he was taking his wife out to lunch, to supper in Newport. He says, but you can call me if you really needed my help.
Well, it's good to keep, I have somebody interested in 55 plus. I'd rather have that interested party and not lose them than to
Yes.
take the chance. you
No, I
know?
think it's a worthy project. So good luck going
Yeah.
forward.
Thank you very much, guys.
Have a good one.
Cheers. Thank
Have a
you.
good one. Yeah, bye-bye.
So yeah, I wasn't expecting you to be here, so I had to do my homework.
It's actually within the board, because if it's
Yeah.
not, it's within the MBTA.
Yeah,
So
well,
it could be much worse, so somebody to use at 55 homes
no.
is pro for the town.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's a good point. I should, yeah,
I'm a big 55 guy.
you're a big 55 guy.
Good people.
Thank
and
you.
no
Thank you.
Good people.
Number 2, discussion and vote on as-built for Tasha's Lane. Let me go to my last Victoria cheat sheet.
That was an email.
That wasn't the email, wasn't it? So, I mean, I looked at it. I mean, looks okay to me. She was just said that we had to add a signature block for the board to sign. And it appears Nicole showed me that you had done that. So I would certainly entertain a motion to approve the as-built as submitted, dated
June 20. No, August 5th, 2024.
dated August 5th, 2024.
I'll make a motion.
Motion's been made
I'll second.
and seconded. Any further discussion on the board? All those in favor signify, no, gotta do the roll call vote. Chad Cavallo.
Dave, this is Tasha Lane.
You were recusing yourself. Thank you.
I'm recruiting myself from both articles because my sister-in-law is real estate agent for them.
Okay, fair enough. There's 3 of us here. That's it. Sorry, that's right. Chris Mello?
I'll make a motion.
No, you already made the motion,
yeah.
seconded.
Second.
To approve.
Yeah, aye.
Steve Tripp,
Aye.
David Cross, aye. Okay, so we voted to accept the as-built for Tasha's Lane. We'll go right into the release of the covenant. And seeing the work is done, I think, I don't think we have to worry about holding on to the covenant any further. So I would look for a motion to release the covenant on lot 1.
Make a motion.
The motion's made
I'll second.
and seconded on releasing lot 1 from covenant. All those in roll call vote. Chris Mello,
Aye.
Steve Tripp,
Aye.
David Cross, aye. So this has to be notarized.
What do I have to do now to get a release from registry of deeds?
Covenant has to be signed by the board and notarized, which Nicole can do at the meeting.
Mhm.
We all sign them all and then.
You have to
Yeah.
go to
Get it
registry of
stamped.
deeds, I imagine,
Yes,
because it's basically a lien is what it is.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's what-
these are the plans,
So I can sign this with a pen, right?
yes. If it was Mylar, it'd have to be the Sharpie. And there's 2 copies, one goes to them and one comes to us.
that's-
So this is the second, this is, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you were still on the board when we started this.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
Here's
I haven't
the
really done nothing.
2 copies or was it 3 there?
2.
Just 2.
Yeah,
Charge the stuff with T.
Yeah.
No new projects. Yeah, that's fine.
What do we have to do about the missing members signing?
I
They
think
go
we
to the
just leave them
office.
Just leave them
blank.
off?
Yeah,
they'll
because
go-
Chad's not gonna vote on it anyways,
Yeah.
and Gary's not here.
Okay.
so,
We have 3 for the
Yeah,
approval. Okay.
if I can unlock this. We've never used it.
Oh,
Is it just this?
I used to use one.
Oh, it says here.
Yeah.
There we go. And I think that's it. Yeah,
we
so,
have,
It's,
and we have nothing to sign for us, so we have no Mylars, none of that stuff. 'cause we already
No,
accepted
no.
the plans.
yeah, if it was the original Form Cs, then we would have Mylars,
Yeah.
but Victoria said since we
As
just
built.
had that, then we don't have to. Bye, thank
Thank you.
you. Once it's recorded, can you just give us a copy?
All right, so I have to go to the registry of deeds no matter what.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, to record the covenant. The
Okay.
as-built doesn't need to be recorded, but
Okay.
the covenant does.
Yeah. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Number 4, discussion and vote on abandonment request Torres Way, 11 Walnut Street subdivision.
I just wanted to explain, so, there was a lien for 2 dwelling houses around my house that would make it impossible for me to sell it for another 2 years. Then, on July 10th, I went additional 401 water quality permit with the state that would bring it to potentially 3 years before I could sell my house. I can't afford to stay another 2 to 3 years in a Summit house because I'm planning on retiring in March 2025. I've already bought a small cape house for my retirement years. At this time, I'm respectfully asking to walk away from the 2-lot subdivision project and to leave 11 Walnut Street as a single parcel. I have sent in the WPA Form 8A, the request for certificate of compliance to Victoria, and will be on the agenda for the August 12th Conservation Committee meeting. I'm requesting to abandon the project. And on July 1st, if you would ask me, I thought I was on. It's
Yeah.
just-
Yeah, it was last meeting, yeah.
Yeah, on July 2nd is when I found out about the lien for 2 years. And on the 10th, I found out about the permit from Victoria, and she said someone in town has been working on it over a year and hasn't secured it yet. So, it just makes it difficult, and to me, it's very stressful because I just can't, if I hadn't bought the other house,
Yeah.
Yeah, right, you had more time, yeah, yeah.
but I just
Yep.
can't keep 2 houses for 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's a problem. I don't think, I certainly don't have, I don't know how the rest of the board feels.
Okay. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
We just have to,
I think there has to go to town council. If you approve it, it goes to town council.
no, it just has to be recorded with the town clerk.
Oh,
Yeah.
We
so
record
that's
the-
it.
We're gonna record the letter of withdrawal, your letter plus our decision
Okay,
with town clerk.
okay,
And then provide you with, a copy of it.
okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Victoria had checked with town council on that to make sure, and that's what they said to do, so.
Okay. all right.
So I would, 1 second now. I would entertain a motion to approve the request to abandon the subdivision. Unless there's any other comments or concerns or questions. Chad, no? Any comments, questions, concerns?
No.
Okay, so I entertain a motion to approve the request to abandon the subdivision.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
A motion's been made and seconded. Roll call vote. Chad Cavallo,
Aye.
Chris Mello,
Aye.
Steve Tripp,
Aye.
David Cross, aye. So we'll sign that letter and,
Okay, all right, and then I'm sure they'll either email it or.
Yeah, we usually email a copy and we'll mail you an original as
Right,
well.
And then I'll be here Monday for the. other
Yes,
one, 'cause
yep.
that's the most important one, because that's the one where it starts the wheels in motion to remove the lien from the house. so I can
Yes.
sell it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, well,
I'm going to, seeing I see nobody here yet.
Is someone's walking, I don't know if that's them looking to get in.
Definitely.
Is that,
Yeah.
That's
that them?
them. So they can't come through that door.
you sure want me to go get him?
yeah, go get them.
It's not long.
Oh,
Well,
it-
you sure?
That's how I used to leave.
Ah,
Can?
Okay.
Sure. It's up to the chairman.
yeah, go ahead. Jesus.
Worst
My
comes to
God.
worst.
I never,
You guys try to come into the planning board meeting? Yeah, we'll take you in this door, but one of the doors up front is open. Oh, we just tried out. Sorry, they must have locked it out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. No problem.
Thank you.
always good timing, because number 5 is informal meeting, 16 Water Street, Michael Lemieux.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
I take it, are you Michael?
I
Lemieux?
am, yes.
So the floor is yours if you want to discuss, it's just an informal meeting, so
Yeah,
have at it.
yeah, so the biggest question that I had for you guys, so, this is my wife Jen. So we run a company called Full Circle Homes, and Full Circle Construction. We specialize in historic, home and mixed-use building restoration. In the context of that, we also own several of our own rental properties, and we've built up a portfolio of that. We had been in touch with the homeowners or the current owners of 16 Water Street. And they had asked us about, if we were interested in the building or if we'd be willing to work with them on doing some kind of a partnership on that. We subsequently had walked through the building, looked at the zoning for it, and for us, for it to make sense to actually put the money in and restore it, would be to see if we could do some kind of a mixed use or a multi-family housing arrangement where we would probably have anywhere from 6 to 8 units in the main building and potentially 2 to 4 units in the barn. If you've been reading through the zoning bylaws, in the sonnet, it doesn't give a direct determination whether or not that would be applicable, other than applying for a special permit. And so that's why I wanted to talk to you guys, just to see what your thoughts were, and if you thought that would be something applicable or not. And then we can determine, whether or not it was even worth moving forward. The plan that we would be looking at doing wouldn't be increasing the number of bedrooms, no additional septic capacity needed. As far as a traffic flow or anything, wouldn't be anything other than what that property's been used for in the past. So from an impact standpoint, just from a real high level, I don't see anything that would be, out of the ordinary for the potential use of that property, unless it was just something that was a hard and fast no for that zoning.
Yeah, well, I know your letter of that you sent to Carl, he did specify that we would need to do a special permit for
Right.
some of that stuff, because I started looking at some of the rules and regs for multifamily, and these are questions I just in no order. Is this building on National Register of Historic Places? Do you know?
That is a really good question. It was,
It's not.
yeah, it doesn't seem like it is.
Okay.
Yeah,
we are used to working with historic.
Yeah.
We have properties that are
Mhm.
interior and exterior restricted now, so it's something we're working with the existing footprint.
Some of the zoning, you'd be looking for a whole ton of waivers. That is my guess, because it's, just looking at some of these, do you think you have parking? You said 8 to 10, 6, 8. So I see 12 at the most, which would be 24 parking spots.
There should be adequate space for that there, but like I said, the minimum number of units we would probably need to do to make the investment worth it would be probably 8. 8 to 10 would be ideal. So-
Between the two buildings.
Correct, yeah.
I don't know. The septic now, I mean, this is not in our bailiwick, the septic, but there's a new subdivision going in back there, so I'm not sure how the septic works on the current footprint.
So the current footprint, the way the building at least was listed, and the way it's on the tax record, it's listed as 17 bedrooms, which would be more than adequate for what we would have been proposing to do. So, and the request that we were determining 8 to 10 units would be within that. It would be a mix of 2-bedroom and 1-bedroom unit.
I'm just wondering if the septic is still on the piece of the inn that was carved out from where the subdivision was.
Well, that's a great question. I would probably have to go to the Board of Health.
Board of Health.
And it has built what we had looked at for the property. I can't remember off the top of my head. I apologize for that. I can't imagine it would be allowed to be on unless there was an easement. I know it's common ownership right now, so. But I don't know how they do their subdivision with having a leaching field or anything like that.
I believe the subdivision has been broken off. Somebody new owns it.
Not this time, no. It's scheduled to close next week.
Oh,
Are you Bob?
I am.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh, you're nice, Bob. Okay, good.
Yes.
I was like, your face looks familiar.
So I can answer some questions on that. As far as the septic system, it would have to meet Title V.
Yeah.
The last system was 94, I believe, was installed by a local installer. Zendi's installed it.
Right,
There's questions where exactly the leaching field is.
okay,
They did own, the previous owners owned the property for 70-something years.
right.
They also own the property adjacent to it. They bought it in the 60s at auction.
Yeah.
From the town. It was under tax title in 63.
sorry, could you state your name for the record?
Robert Joes, 3 Christie Lane, South Mass. Former vice chairman of the planning board and also chairman of the planning board. No, it's
You
the
didn't-
earlier one, but yeah.
That comes in handy.
No, so the system, so we're not sure exactly where the leaching field is.
Right.
our plan, we were doing 4 bedrooms, 4 units, as you know. We were bringing it, we had did a new perk test and bringing it up to the current Title 5, so. For us, it really didn't matter. We had great soil samples in the back, in front of the barn area. There's roughly 1.4 acres of land that the inn currently sits on, the inn and barn currently sit on, that is with it, not subdivided off into the other adjacent lots. So property-wise, there is still a significant amount of property. It doesn't meet our current zoning,
Right.
but it'd be because it's not conforming for our use. That's what our determinations were.
For your use, yes, no, but
For
going
our
forward.
use, correct.
And again, I'll reiterate, the septic isn't with this board,
Not
just
just-
questions I wrote down. So that doesn't mean anything. Yeah, there's just you're supposed to have 70,000 square foot and then 40,000 for each additional unit and everything, so those are all sorts of waivers that you'd have to ask for. In terms of apartments, we don't really have a ton in town, so, we're not gonna send you flying because, and there was a business there at one time. I don't know if you'd have to do a traffic study on that because of the business being there before. I'd have to look into that a little bit further. But yeah, 50-foot buffer zone, blah, blah, blah. You would have town water. You would have town water. So those are just some of you would definitely have to go for is my understanding, you'd definitely have to go for a special permit through this board, a formal application, plans and all that junk.
Through the chair, you mind if I ask one question? Through the chair to
Sure, go ahead.
the applicant, are you planning on 55 and over units? Are you planning on, what was your thought process? Is it 2-bedroom units, 1 bedroom, 55 over? What were you
Yeah,
thinking?
no, it's a great question. I mean, we don't currently do anything right now that's 55 and over. It's just all market rate. So that's what we would be proposing.
No low income or anything.
We don't right now. Is that something that somebody was looking for, or that, it's not out of the question?
Yeah.
It's really just about what makes it work.
Yeah. Oh, I got you.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask them.
You hit the main one.
Outdoor use and recreational space requirements, I mean,
It's park up the road.
there's a park up the road, but still, I mean, I'm just saying this, like every listing here would
Yeah.
have to be a waiver of
Well,
some
it's
sort.
over an acre. That's not where the inn sits behind it. So the barn is.
Yep.
Behind that, it actually makes an L shape. There's over an acre back there. That's high, dry,
That's not part of the subdivision.
not part of the subdivision. No, it sits on about 1.4 acres. of
Okay.
property. So what you see that's not cleared is only about half an acre. Everything else is
Mhm.
behind it. It's about an acre behind it. It's not cleared. Where the water tower used to be, you remember well, water tower's window thing there behind the barn and all that. up
Oh,
high.
yeah. I'm assuming you'd have to go. Let's see what else I have questions. Site plan review, you'd have to do that. You've already done the zoning determination. But yeah, I mean, there's not a ton of apartments in town, so.
So is that, based on that statement, is that something that the town is looking for?
The town is currently right now coming together with a master plan, so that'll come out of that.
Right.
So we'll find out
Right.
in the near future about that.
Okay,
We have a draft of that by the end of the year or something,
right.
based on feedback and online say it, Dave. Online questionnaires and stuff like that. Steve, anything?
No, I think it's a pretty good idea. Right?
Chad, do you have any questions for the applicant, not the applicant, but the Mr. and Mrs. Lemieux?
I'm just wondering, has anyone spoke to any of the neighbors in that area and have their opinions?
I have not. I mean, that would be part of a formal process. If they came in front of us asking for a special permit, then we would open it up and have have the neighbors give their 2 cents. Sure.
Okay.
Under the special permit, it is a public hearing.
It is a public hearing,
It is a
correct?
Public hearing, it's not just a planning board meeting.
No, correct, it's public, that's right.
Everyone would have a right to have their say.
Yep. I'm a relative neighbor there, so kind of, sort of.
We're used to that anyway.
So other than
Okay.
that,
Go ahead. Chad, did you have?
other than that, it's yeah, I think it's a good idea to keep what they do and to keep the building historic. So I mean, other than the name, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, have you talked to the town historic commission at all?
Just briefly, we've talked to people in the past, but not directly about
Mhm.
anything like this. What I've been told prior and then what Bob was able to tell me when he and I spoke, it seems as though it would be nice to have the building preserved in some manner or fashion. I would be surprised if there isn't a lot of feelings from everybody when it comes to a structure like that in the town. And, you know, things that we don't know anything about. But that typically what we try to do is maintain historic integrity in everything we do and make sure that whatever we do fits the fabric of the community. Usually what people don't want is some anachronistic, ugly building that is completely outside of the scope of what it is good for the fabric of the community.
Do you have any other questions for us? I mean, I don't think we'd be averse
Yeah.
to going through a special permit if you formally brought it.
Right.
It's something we're not gonna send you packing right away.
Yeah, I don't think I have any other additional questions at this time. It was really just trying to get our brains around what type of receptivity would be in the town and then in the board to even be open to the idea before we would even consider anything else.
Okay.
I appreciate all of your time. That's very helpful.
Does anyone else of the general population have any other further questions?
I do.
Don't? Okay. Well, thank you very much, and feel free to reach out to any of the boards. Like I said, you should probably go to the conservation. I don't know about fire. I guess you probably, at some point, you'd have to go to the fire
It will
department.
be fire.
Yeah,
More than 3 apartments, we have to go to fire.
yeah,
So that's all standard.
standard, yeah.
Yeah, but again, before you even broach any of those apartments or departments, pardon me, it's really just a question of what's allowed or what the feeling is would be allowed. That's great. I appreciate it.
Okay,
Well, thank you very much.
great, thank you.
And we'll be in touch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, if they're done, I might go outside with you.
Yeah. that'd be great.
Walk around.
We're not dismissing you, Bob.
Oh.
No, we're good. Thank you very much. Bob, thanks for your input
No worries.
on all the topics so far. Yeah, thanks for it.
You know what, I apologize, I got big all things keep talking.
That's all right.
I was a politician once, you know. You mind if we leave through the exit, Mr. Chairman?
I do not mind.
No, okay.
As long as you learn. Yeah, cheers.
And thank you for what you do for the town.
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, I appreciate it because I sat there and
Put your time in.
a thankless job.
Okay, moving right along, number 6, discussion and vote to recommend Nicole D. Moranville as principal clerk for land use departments. So I talked to Victoria about this prior to her departure. As you know, Nicole is the clerk for 3 different departments. We're going to be leaning on her much more until we get a new land use administrator or town planner or whatever we end up hiring. And so we thought it was a good idea to propose a step up in her position. So I'll entertain any kind of questions, comments, or concerns from the board.
I think that'd be a great idea.
Thank you.
It's good to have your board. Yeah.
Thank you.
Work side by side with Victoria and.
Yeah, yeah, it's just some good continuity.
Yeah.
Chad gave his thumbs up. I also reached out to Charlie and Nick the chairs of the Concom and ZBA, just so they knew we were bringing this up. I'm not sure what the next step is. I don't know if you can present this to town administrator, or is that something I have to do?
Nope, I have a letter, for you to sign for the recommendation, and then I give it to, town administrator, and then they put it on their agenda and approve or deny it.
Just so you guys know, I signed the timesheets for the staff. And I don't know if I need to have the other two chairs sign the board, sign the paper,
I don't think, the letter.
the letter, yeah. sorry.
So we also put it on the conservation, agenda for Monday.
Oh, okay, good.
So,
Okay, good.
if they recommend it, we'll submit both of them at the same time on Tuesday and then have it on the agenda for
Follow,
one, yeah. But ZBA also falls under planning, so I think,
Not,
yeah, I don't think we have to have them do one.
he's aware of it, so if he had, and obviously, Jim's on the board and he, you work with Jim, so.
Yes.
So, I would need a motion to recommend Nicole DeMaranville, as principal clerk for land use departments.
I'll make a motion.
Motion's been made
I'll second that.
and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, Chad Cavallo,
Aye.
Chris Mello,
Aye.
Steve Tripp,
Aye.
David Cross, aye. Great. Item number 6, discussion on creating a short-term rental bylaw. Now, the last meeting we had, before we knew what Victoria was going to be stepping down, she was going to start getting some information on that. That's probably something we should put on hold.
Yeah.
Some of these things are going to be on hold. The other one is the individual units there, ADUs. That bill, I think, is being signed into law today, or today's the last day they can sign it in. And I believe that it does something by right. So whatever we had come up with would have been moot anyway, if we had actually brought that to fruition back at the town meeting. So I'm gonna, just like that, I'm gonna hold off on, unless anybody has a need to deep dive into it, I'm just gonna put it on the shelf, I think. That brings us to number 8, any other business? Does anybody have any? Nicole, do you have anything that came up at the last minute?
No,
Chad, anything? Nope. Anybody else?
No.
Nothing else?
No.
Okay, I guess we're done. So I'd need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Motion's been made and
I'll second.
seconded to adjourn. Roll call vote. Chad Cavallo,
Aye.
Chris Mello,
Aye.
Steve Tripp,
Aye.
David Cross, aye. Meeting adjourned at 18:42. Thanks, Chad.
All right. Thank you.
Um,
Yeah.
did James end up, that's not him, is it? Could be. Is that James?
oh, they left.
I
James,
think he was on here.
I'll have to apologize to him. I never even thought, because I didn't see his name up there, and
Yeah,
he also, and you already did that, just, I know this is he hasn't been sworn in as associate member, so there's not much he could have done anyway.
Yeah.
So he's got in, I know you sent the email out to him
Yeah.
to get him to sign. It's just a matter of getting over there.
yeah, he's in New York right now for work, so he
Yeah.
said possibly Friday morning he would stop by to do that.
You saw that from Victoria.
No,
That was nice.
that's a nice cheat sheet.
That's a very
Yeah.
nice cheat sheet. I asked her to do that, so,
She
Oh,
did
yeah.
say that she was gonna send that out, so good.
yeah. Cool. Okay, we're done, Chad. You can go, you're sleeping in your car there? What's going on? Yeah.
Back to football camp.
Yeah,
Oh.
sounds football camp.
All right, get back to the important stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Cheers.
Alright.